Hey guys, welcome to the Double Your Revenue Challenge. In this video, we're talking about what to do after your auction ends. And more specifically, we're going to talk about how to close out your auction with a mobile bidding software like HandBid, and then what to do a couple days after your auction, especially when you've got that all-important board meeting where you have to report your results. And so what you're looking at on our screen on the left side is what you would see in the back end of HandBid. It's the HandBid manager. It's essentially if you're sitting there at your laptop in the lobby, that would be your internal view. And then on the right side is what it would hypothetically look like for one of your guests as they're going to check out and they get alerted that they have an invoice that needs to be paid. So Matt is going to walk through closing out your auction and then what to do in the days after. So Matt, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, guys, Danny's right. You used to have long lines at checkout. You used to have, people holding what they've won, people just leaving. So what do you do when you close the auction? You'll see here in the next 30 seconds, my auction is going to close. I set a timer, super easy, super efficient. I can set it and forget it. And by the end of the night, I know that all of my users are going to get invoices. So let's speak to that piece too. You're looking on the right side on my app, an invoice I would have been sent. So when the auction closes in the next 15 seconds or so, I would get emailed a text, or I would get emailed a link that will take me into my invoice, or I'll get texted a link that'll take me into my invoice. And on the app, it'll look a lot like this. So it's super easy for your guests and your donors to pay already by the time they leave. You don't have to chase anyone down. You don't have to have anyone wait in lines because they just made a donation and they need to pay for it. It's so much more simple now that you have invoices on the go. You can add a card, you can have a card on file already, and it's just so easy after the event. And then you spend even less time after the event chasing these people down over the week or coming weeks, especially if you have a board to answer to, which is very common. So it's incredibly easy to get invoices to your donors automatically. When your event closes, they get sent their invoices and they're due to pay it immediately. And you can see all of the invoices in the auction on your side right here. And that kind of rolls into our next point, Danny. So that's the night of. What about the following, let's say, week, where there are still some unpaid invoices? Can we prompt people to check their invoices and pay it, even though it's 2 or 3 days later, without calling them, without emailing them, without going to physically show up wherever they are to ask for money? There is. So you'll see here, I have a bunch of invoices on my side. I can see who has a credit card on file, who's paid or not. Oh, my auction closed. Great. How many items they have on their invoice. So I'm just going to use me for now. And what I can do is I can click this button up here and I can print it if you want to print an invoice and hand it to someone. But the more popular options are just pressing the SMS invoice or the email invoice, and it just triggers that email or text to be sent again. Hey, you have an unpaid invoice. Please settle it now. And then that's a very hands-off way of saying, hey, you owe us money, which is always very nice and hard to do after an event. So that also helps with the analytics piece. Danny spoke to the revenue and the money you make. And when you're doing all this at the end of the event with all of these different sheets, you don't know what you've raised. You don't know how many bids all these items have. And you especially can't do it in real time. With HandBid, we have a super complete reporting feature. So you can segment out what a specific bidder does in your entire event. You can segment out how many bids an item gets. It has a very, very complete reporting system as the auction goes on. So you don't have to wait for your auction end to pull a report if you want to see your progress halfway through. You can do it at any time and it's up to date in real time. So after your event is over, you don't have to feel lost and you don't have to feel like you're chasing people down for stuff that they can do on their own.
Yeah, we also don't make the accounting team mad, right? So we all know that if we make our accounting team happy, that they're going to be they're making the accounting team happy is the main goal after an event. So, but yeah,
Absolutely.
so yeah, guys, you can even just see like even just the basics of the financial results. I know we talked about that in a previous video, but just having up to date, instant access again by way of just using technology like HandBid compared to paper bid sheets or some other way, you know exactly how you performed, and with just a couple of clicks, you can get all your invoices resolved, and you can just reconcile and be and get through everything you need to get through after your event closes. So, guys, this completes our video around closing out an auction and what to do a couple days after. I know everyone's going to be really sad about this piece of news, but next week is our last video, but it's an important one. It's actually about integrations. We get a lot of questions about integrations, specifically with nonprofit CRM. So stay tuned for that video. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you next time.